Hi, I'm attorney Ben Schwartz. Today we're answering viewer questions, and the first question up is, can I get fired for what I say on social media? The concern is that, the person asking the question explained that he made some comments on social media of a political nature, and he feels they're inflammatory. Now his employer is coming down on him like a ton of bricks, and he's worried about getting fired. He wants to know, can I get fired for what I say on social media in my own time, for my Facebook posts or my tweets that I make after hours that have nothing to do with the employment? And the answer is that I'm a Delaware attorney. I can only speak for what happens in Delaware, but in Delaware we have what's called at-will employment, meaning you're employed at the will of your employer unless you have something stating otherwise. So if the exception to this would be if you have an employment contract that specifies reasons for termination, if you have a collective bargaining agreement that specifies reasons for termination, if maybe you have an employee handbook that has graduated levels of discipline that might speak to this. But if you don't have any of those things, you're just a straight at-will employee. You can be fired for any legal reason. And one of those reasons is going on Facebook or Twitter and making comments that are inflammatory or that show your employer in a bad light. Your employer is likely spending thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of dollars on marketing and branding in order to give themselves a good, positive appearance. And if you're going on social media and making comments, you may be tarnishing that appearance. And so employers have an interest in regulating or having some control over what their employees say on social media. That said, you do have a right to make comments. I would encourage you not to make comments that are inflammatory, that are going to get people angry enough to contact your employer. But you do have to balance what you say, your own interest in having freedom of speech against your employer's interest. Now, when I looked at the question, I sort of Googled it just to see, what else is going on along these lines, and I saw there was a recent article. It was a news article that I found on NBC 10 Philadelphia, and the title was "Jefferson Fires Employee Who Says She's Sick and Tired of All This Bull with the Black People." And so a Jefferson employee went online and was making comments about police matters and how a police officer was in an altercation, shouting match with an African American person, and the Jefferson employee basically voiced her opinion on how her views of the police versus black people. And so Jefferson said this is inflammatory, and they fired the employee. And I think that, like I said, under Delaware law, if that happened in Delaware, it would be an at-will employment situation, and the employer probably has the right to do that. In any event, be careful what you say on social media. You do have a First Amendment freedom of speech in America as a United States citizen, but at the same time, you need to understand that employers have the ability to take action if they don't like what their employees are saying. I'm attorney Ben Schwartz. If you have questions, send them in. We'll do our best to answer them. You can shoot me an email at ben.schwartz@schwartzandschwartz.com. You can go on Facebook, facebook.com/Schwartz and Schwartz, and leave a comment there, leave a question there. You ask questions, we'll do our best to answer them.